Can you present it to us now?
Yes, sir. 2 minutes.
Yeah. Good evening, Anantha.
Good evening, sir.
Okay. Anantha, I figured out for you. I guess I texted Lavanya about it. I'm sorry for that. I guess your name is Kolin Anta on WhatsApp, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I was just saying that you can do it even on Android. You need to have an application known as Termux, Termux. From there, you have to install Node.js. You also have to install a few other dependencies, and then you can work with it. Okay.
You can once again repeat it, sir.
From mobile also you can do Node.js. Even though I
Okay.
did not try it, but I did search on Google. I found that there are some applications like Termux, Terminal, and I found some more applications. You can use them to run Node.js on your mobile as well. And you can also do HTML and CSS over there.
Okay,
Like
sir.
there is this application for HTML and CSS. You can write to HTML and CSS in there also. So just go to the Play Store and try there. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Hmm. Okay. Move on. Next, can I see? You did not unmute yourself.
Sir, that's it, sir.
Okay. What about achievements and certifications?
I have to add all those two, sir.
Okay. Chalo, no problem. Glad you made it. We will start with today's lecture. Okay. So today we will be learning about file system and stream buffers. So for file system, Node.js by itself gives us a file system to work with. So let me just start up my VS Code. Mm, You can see my screen now, right?
Right, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir, it's fine.
So let's create a new file just so that we can see now for okay. So to work with that file system, we need to import it. So we write require fs. So like yesterday, we were logging out OS and global. We will start with logging this out. So let's see. Not this. We need to OS. Acha. Hmm. So so now we have so many functions over here. Append file, sync means to join two files in sync, access sync, access. Then we have ch mode sync, close, exists, exit sync. Then the most important one that we are going to work with are, so the ones we are, yes, we will be working with read file, remove rm, and then we have directory. So these are some things. Yeah, this is remove directory sync. These are the stuff we are going to work with. We are going to work with read file. Then real path just gives us path. So this is the read, make directory, mkdir. So these are actually Linux commands, and npm is based on idea for Linux only, but it is developed for Windows. In Linux, we have yarn. That is what we use for our as our terminal. Okay, so to get started now, we will start by reading files. So let's just show this read file. Okay, so how do we read a file? To read a file, we first need to create it. I will just show you what happens if you don't read it. Okay, fs dot read file. It takes in two arguments, dot slash, let's say documents. Let's shorten it to docs, and then we have doc1 dot text. So this will be our text file, and then in this we will pass in the argument. So we have error and data argument, and then if we have error, we want to check for error. We, in our programming, it is a good logic to first check for errors. So if there is an error, the file execution just stops over there, because console.log acts as a return. So with this, we will just console log error for now, and then we will console log data over here. Okay. So now if there's eonet, no such file or directory open. So let's just create this directory and new folder, docs slash doc1 dot text. Okay. So okay, I just created a folder. New file, docs1 dot text. Okay, so let's just add some lorem over here. My lorem is not working for some reason. Okay, so let's just say, hey, this is a file read. Okay, so now if we go over here, hopefully no such directory open. Alright, so this is docs1. Okay, chalo. Now it should work. Yeah, you see we get this buffer. So this is the file, but it is encapsulated or unreadable. It is for not for us. So we do dot to string, and now it should say, hey, this is a file read. Okay, so if I run this, let's just clear it first. So now function. Okay, Yeah. So now it says this is a file read. Okay, so this now these functions are also asynchronous functions, which means that they won't be interrupting our flow. Let me just show you. So now if we this console log, this is last line, and let me just delete one of this. Okay, and let's make this small too. Okay, chalo. So and this is the first line. So now if we run this, uh, this should run first, then this should run second, and after that this should run. So now since this is a blocking code, see, hey, this is a file read. So this is a synchronous function. So that's how it works. And then we are also going to look at fs dot write file. It is just same as read file, but when we don't have a file, read file gave us an error. Write file does not give us an error. So what we are going to do is dot slash docs slash doc1 dot text. Okay, and then this also takes in two arguments, error and data. So now we will just say console log this file written. Let's just see invalid callback function received nothing. What did you not receive? Let's just okay. We also need to add text added. So this can be anything. What you want to write inside that file, you have to do that. So currently we have this file known as docs1.text, and it contains this text. So this text will now be overwritten by this text. So if I do this and use this, so it says file written. Okay, this is okay. So okay, now I did a spelling mistake again over here. So file written, and then if you check over here, it says text added. The previous one was over here. I did not add an s after the c, that's why. So that is how you write file. Now you don't want to write your file always, so you might want to check that if your file exists. And I okay, let's just show you what happens if your file does not exist. As I said, if your file did not exist is there, did not exist. So we have this file now, and let's just console log this. So you see file created and written, and this file did not exist. So and the text was added. So that is how this works. So if even if you don't have a file, it will create one for you. But if you don't have a folder, what about that? Will it work? Okay, it did work. How did it work? File created written. File did not exist. Well, it is not making it. Okay, so it does not work just. We don't have. I guess we need to add. Okay, let's see. Okay, so now we get an error. No such file or directory open. So you need to have your folder. So we have a docs folder here, but so this is a non-existent. Wait a minute. Okay, so this file initially did not exist, does not exist, so the it won't be created. So we got an error. Previously, we were not throwing an error. That's why it said console file created return, and now we get our error. So that is for writing files. So now, what about directories? Wait a second. So what about directories? Console dot. Okay. So this was writing, reading file, and then this was write file. Okay, and then this is a useless code. So now we are working with, what are we working with now? I just said directories. Yes. So this is your file. You see, this did not exist. .text file is a file. Doc1.txt is a file. Docs1.txt is a file. Your directory is this, the folder that we use, like this non-existent folder which did not exist, this docs folder, this docs folder which did not exist. So these are your directories. Okay, so docs folder did exist, non-existent did not exist. Okay, so how do we work with those files? We use fs dot exist syncs. Okay, so now we want to just do this for now. Okay, fs dot exist sync. Let me just clear this, it is getting messy now. Okay, so this is used to check if your folder or something is present. So let's just see if our docs folder is present. So this takes in one argument, and then second argument is error and then data, and then this returns us something. So we will just console log data, and if we have an error, we will just console log error. Let's just see if this works now. Okay, it doesn't do anything. Why does it not work? Okay, we need to use it with an if. I forgot, I'm so sorry. File system dot exist sync. So this returns us values. We don't even need to do that. Exist syncs dot slash docs. So now if I const where, why am I doing this? So let's just console log this. It should do something. Okay, it returns us true. And what about a non-existent file? It should return us false. So this is something that we use to work with directories. So what about creating, removing directories? Well, if we have a directory, we already don't want to make it. So this is where we use our if command, and then fs dot exist sync, and then we will do dot slash docs, and then if it exists, we will just I don't want to remove this directory. This is important one, so let's just call this non-important directory, and then we can do, if this exists, then remove this. So for remove, we use fs dot remove directory, and then this takes in two arguments. Wait a minute, huh, guys. So now to work with removing directories, okay, if the file exists, then only we want to remove it. So we use remove directory, and then we will use non-imp. So, and then this also takes in two arguments, error and data, and then we will do, if we have an error, we will do console log error, else we will console log folder deleted. So let's just see if it works. Okay, well, right now we won't see anything because the directory does not exist. Okay, so let's just add one more else for command over here. Fs dot make directory. So make directory, what it does is create a directory. So now we don't have this, so this time we will create it, and then this also takes in two arguments, error and data, and then it returns us. So logically we want to check for error, we want to console log error, and if there is no error, console log folder created. Okay, so let's just see if this works. Okay, so you see this non-important folder over here has been created, and it says over here folder created. Now if we run this again, it will just delete that folder. You see that folder was deleted, and it says over here folder deleted. So that is why we use fs.existSync uh, to check if our folder exists or not. To remove directory and make directory, we use the rm directory and mk directory, remdir and mkdir, so as you like to call it. So I would like to ask you guys, what if you want to check if a directory does not exist? What will you do? So this is used to check if you have a directory. So let's just do this, and I want to check get um, check if this exists. So how will you do check if it does not exist? Does not exist. Okay, so I will just console log this, does not exist. Okay, chalo. Now tell me, how will you guys check if a file exists or not? So this tells us file exists. And what if I want to check that a file does not exist? How do I do that? Anyone? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I want to check if a file does not exist. Even over here, we used fs.existSync to check if a file exists. What if I want to check if a file does not exist first? How do I do that? Anyone? Hello. How do we negate a value? How do we negate a value in JavaScript? Like if something is true, how do you make it false?
Condition should be wrong.
Yeah,
Negation.
negation. Okay, so how do I do that?
Secondary mark.
Come on, I'm
Apostrophe.
waiting. So sorry, apostrophe. I would like to know apostrophe. How does it look like? This?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now our file directory does not exist. So this should return true. Okay, so good. And what if I run this again after running this? Let's see. So this says folder created, and now it should be returning false. Okay, so let's just say okay, good. Okay, so now we will be talking about streams and buffers. So can somebody tell me about buffers? Like we have buffering in YouTube. So what can that be? Anyone?
Please repeat the question, sir.
Sorry,
Please repeat the question.
I was saying you guys know buffering. Like we have uh, buffering in YouTube, and then we have buffering in the buffering also in like Twitch and all any streaming service on your TV. If you are viewing something, then we have something known as buffering. Your video lags and then it loads and then it comes. Then you watch it. So can you tell me about that? What do you understand by that? Okay, no one. Chalo. For now, we need lorem. Okay, so how many words are this? I guess we need a lots of them.
You handle in binary data, sir.
Sorry?
To handle raw binary data. For example, before
Okay,
console
okay.
in console, the many integers will
Mm-hmm.
get in many integers you get, no, sir.
Okay, chalo.
For controlling that, buffers are used.
Okay. So now let's just say you are watching YouTube, and while watching YouTube, you either you can have your entire data handled to you all at once, or you can take your data bit by bit. So if you try to load entire video at once, it takes time. So when you are downloading movies and all, you should understand that when you have that big chunk of movie, it takes time. So if you are watching it on YouTube, thoda thoda, like little gets loaded in, and then you guys watch. Let's just use some other example, like what can I think of now? Okay, let's take a tank. I have a tank in front of me. So there is a very big tank, and I need to empty that tank in a pool somewhere far away. Now what I can do is take that entire tank and put it in the pool. Now that will be a tedious process. I have to pick up that tank, and the bigger the tank, the heavier it will be and harder to pick it up. And it might require a crane also, God knows. So taking that much of a pain, then there will be spending expenditure of that crane also, then that traveling, then someone will be there to pour the tank, and all that stuff will be there. Instead, what I can do is, that will be my second option, the better option. I can just take a pipe from that tank and put it into the pool or somewhere else wherever I want to move that water. So I will just start that and then open that pipe. So little by little water will go and it will be far easy, saving me lots of money compared to that crane. If that, even if that crane cost me like 10 or 15,000 dollars, I can just get a pipe for 500 or 1,000 rupees, and I can just use that to pass down the water. And a bit harder will be take buckets and go there and put, which will be also, I guess, cheaper. Maybe not, but that pipe wala option was excellent. So that is what we call as stream. That pipe is a stream, and that buffer is that chunk of water that is going through that pipe. So there will be a part of water that you can take in that. What was that? There will be a part of water flowing through this pipe that will be called as a chunk, or what you can call in a scientific language, a buffer. And that pipe, entire pipe that will be taking that water from a tank to a pool, will be your stream. So in okay, where did my file just now go? I just created a file, right? Okay, I renamed it to data.js. So streams, and let's just name it streams.js. I don't want to make it long. And let's just get our file system. So this also is from file system itself. And then we have our file system. So I will just show you guys that it is there in our file system. So let's just view this and let me see if we have it. File read stream, read stream, write stream, file read stream, and file write stream. Okay, we do have these four methods, and then it takes one getter and then there's a setter. Okay, so it does take in two arguments just like that. So do we have anything else that works? Fsync chmod does not work with anything like that. Real path. Okay. Okay, so let's just start with that. We have restream and write stream. So we have this huge data, and it is 50 lines. So I'm expecting it to be, let's make it bigger. Okay. Uh, let's see this. So now this is a 300 line data. Okay. And long data too. So each line is of 3 lines approximately, because we are seeing it big or something like that. I don't know. So let's just try reading this data, and we need to create a restream or write stream. Okay, so we will start with creating a restream, and then we can use create restream, and then that took a getter and a setter, right? No, we will have to create a getter, so that will be a variable. So this is our variable, and then our file that we created was data.txt. Okay, and then we will start this restream. So restream dot on, and then this function is there. It starts our restream, and then for every chunk of data. Okay, so this is our chunk of data, and then we can like console log our chunk of data. Let's just try this now. I will have to enlarge the terminal. So you see, we have this buffer, and then it says this. Let's do two string so that we can actually read it. So you see we have gotten this. Okay, so now let's different to this is I'm just doing this to show you something like uh, slash n. I guess this should work. New chunk of data below, and then this. So let's just see if it works. It should say new chunk of data below. Okay, I guess we made it too big. No, how big does the file need to be? Let's just see how big is this. Let's just try making this even bigger. And now it is 899 lines. Okay, and that is going. Hmm, it does not break. Okay, chalo. I guess we will have to see this. Let's just not do two strings so that we know. Okay. Let me just clear the console. Okay, you see now we have this new chunk of data below, and then there is a bit of data everywhere. Now, in converting it to string, this line I guess is getting ignored, or according to this data, we must be missing it somewhere else. So this is a lots of data to work around with. It should work. So where is it? Uh, Let me just make it small. Okay. Okay. There was one, I guess. Yeah, you see, new chunk of data below, and then there is this data. So this is how you get chunks of data. And then now we will see about write stream. So let me just make this small again and clear this. Okay. Now we can have write stream. So let me just do write stream inside this only. Uh, that W should not be capital. And in write stream, how we do is, how do you do? Dot write. Okay, so we use dot write method, and then we will be writing something over here. So this will say new written chunk of data, and then we will just write this somewhere. So where will we be writing this? So this should work. Requires tag cannot find module node.tty. Why can't you find this module node.tty? From where did it come? We still have the same error. Live stream. This should be working. Okay, we need to create a writing stream too. So this is your fs.create. Uh, yeah, we need to open something. So this is write stream, and then let's just we need to write it to some new data. Okay, so even though we don't have this data.text file, it should be working. What happened now? Yeah, sorry, we need to write something. So This should work now. Okay, still does not want to work. New chunk. Right stream dot write. What is wrong? Cannot find module TTY. Mm, Let me just try something else. Okay. So this guy also takes in one more parameter over here. I'm just trying this out. So what the path, fs path like and options, there are string, then encoding, buffer encoding, file directory number, mode number. Okay, let's try with, I guess encoding should do the work. Mm, UTF-8. UTF-8 should not have a dash. We never work with dashes in JavaScript. Always remember underscores. Not still working. Why? What is the? Okay. This somehow got imported. Node.tty. Okay, so now we just wrote something over here. Okay, so it works. So this is your new data, and it has been written over here. And this, what I was trying to do is just putting in something like, so now if I delete this, and then let me just clear this. Okay, so now if I run this, the data from this file, that is this chunk, should be written over here. So we are taking data from data.text, and then we are writing files to new data.text. So if I run this, you see new data has been written, and on top we have new written chunk, and then we have lorem ipsum over here. Okay, now let's just add some new line over here. It looks rubbish. Let's just delete this. Okay, so now our new data has a nice new chunk of data. So that is your read stream and write stream data. Okay, and then there is something we have known as piping. So this is your piping data. So this is just a way of saying, hey, look, this just ended over here. So now if I do this restream.pipe write stream, and we can just delete this. So now what we did over here was started a restream from data.text, and then we created this write stream, and then we return over here. So pipe stream essentially actually works like a pipe that I told you. We are taking water from a tank, then passing it to a pipe. So we can just say restream.pipe and write stream, and then it will do all this work for us. So now I have deleted that file, and let's just clear this, and you see, uh, okay, my bad, I have to comment this out. Okay, I'm sorry for working with data so bad. That's how developers are, and that's how you will be, so don't worry. Okay, so now this should work, and we have this new data over here. You see that chunk has disappeared, and then this data has been written. So that is your Z stream, write stream, and then we also learned about how to work with files. Then you guys found out about the negotiation operator. So basically, this does is true to false and false to true. It shows you the inverted this. Well, there are other relational and conditional operators too, like double equal to, triple equal to, and then ternary. There are so many operators. We will learn them slowly. Don't worry about that. And that is all for today's lecture. So today we are wrapping it over here, and from tomorrow onwards we will be starting with uh, servers. So tomorrow you will be starting working with data and from with browser and as well as your client. So you will be using your browser, which will be Google Chrome, Firefox, Internet Explorer, whichever you like. And I would prefer you guys use Microsoft Edge or Google Chrome or Firefox, three of those. And we will also be creating our server. So tomorrow, from tomorrow onwards, I will be giving you guys task also. So for now, we did not have tasks, and from tomorrow onwards, you will have to start designing your blogging website. You are not allowed to copy my design. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Uh, yeah. And after that, for tomorrow, you guys can start making your designing your website. I would like to see homepage tomorrow, and then okay, let's just do make your homepage for your blog website. I would like to see it neat and clean. To be honest, Lavanya and Muzammil, I did see your website and they did not look so clean. So no problem with that. But make sure that you see refer to designs online. Okay, that's all for the day. Any doubts you guys can ask me.
सर
Hmm.
ये जो मीटिंग है हमारी, ये सर डाउनलोड हो सकती है जैसे रिकॉर्ड करते हैं?
मैम को पूछना पड़ेगा मुझे, मैं मैम को पूछ के बताता हूँ. मैम, कैन वी डाउनलोड दिस मीटिंग? आई गेस मैम अवेलेबल नहीं है, रिकॉर्डिंग पर छोड़ के गए लगता. फिर भी मैं उनको बाद में पर्सनली पूछूंगा एंड देन
जी
आई
सर.
विल टेल यू गाइस इफ द मीटिंग इज डाउनलोडेबल. If you want the code, I can share the code with you. That's why I have kept it in separate files, and I have not deleted most of the code. Okay.
ओके सर.
Okay.
सर टुडेज
Yes.
फाइल, सर आज की फाइल शेयर कर देना सर.
हाँ. Okay. I
ओके
will be
सर.
sharing the file today. Okay.
ओके सर, थैंक यू सर.
No problem. Chalo. Bye. Have a nice day and stay safe, everyone.
थैंक यू सर.
Welcome. What about the rest of you? Are you guys not present over here? Anantha, Muzammil, are you present?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I thought you can leave. The meeting is over. Yeah, Muzammil, अब हो कि नहीं कि भाग
हूँ
गए?
सर. हूँ सर.
हाँ, मेरे को लगा भाग गए.
ऐसा कैसे भागेंगे सर?
ठीक है, चलो रखते.
हाँ
बाय,
सर.
संभाल के रहो.
हाँ, अच्छी बात.